Hey everyone, today I am very excited to be bringing you the wrap-up video for Cabin Fever Challenge 2021. It has certainly been an interesting last 12 or so months, and that was a little bit reflected in what went on this year. I know it was a big challenge for a lot of people to be able to get out and get some rounds going down range. I know here in the United States, we had a lot of issues with ammo availability, ranges being open, just a lot of things not working in our favor, and I know that was replicated around the world. I am proud to say that on that note, we did have quite a bit of worldwide participation this year. I think more so than we've seen in years past. We had a large contingent of people from Finland participating, as well as I know there were quite a few people from Sweden participating this year, in addition to the old, standbys of the United States and Canada, along with a couple others sprinkled in there. So really happy to see this challenge being taken up in other parts of the world. I think that this is a very valuable thing to appreciate, especially in the times that we're in right now. So being able to get out there, practice our skills of musketry, as well as encourage each other as a worldwide community is a really awesome thing to witness and really be a part of. I do want to say thank you to Rifle Chair for creating this competition that we have all been participating in, and I have been extremely honored and humbled to be heading up the Cabin Fever Challenge 2021. My job has been made easy by 5 fantastic division leaders that you will be seeing as we go through their individual division wrap-up sections. So I guess without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Division 1.
Hello everyone, it's Jonas here, presenting you the results of Cabin Fever Challenge 2021 Division 1 Vintage SemiAuto. This year we received 13 submissions out of Canada, United States and Finland. Peeking into the podium, it couldn't be one of those Ice Hockey World Cups, just the wrong way around. But before going into the top 5, you're gonna see clips from all the submissions, from lowest score up. And I'd like to specially mention a shooter called AKTC up from Alaska, who, at a respectable age and under very challenging circumstances, completed his string of shots with M1 carbine. Your input is greatly appreciated, sir.
On the 5th place we've got CNR Collector shooting his M1 turbine, scoring 9 hits in 75 seconds, resulting in a score of 60 even. Well shot. On the 4th place, from Finland, Captain Africa with his FN FAL in 7.62 NATO, scoring 10 hits in 82 seconds and beating CNR Collector with a mere tenth of a point with a score of 60.1. Also printed some proper snow angels on the snowbank. On the 3rd place for 2nd consecutive year was Jonas. That's me. I was shooting my Izevsky AKM and managed to make 13 hits in 91.3 seconds, resulting in a score of 71.2. That's my personal best so far. Up to the 2nd place, we've got the grand old man, Rifle Chair himself, shooting his M1 Garand to Hellsby rifle. He was wondering whether I would disqualify him due to the rifle having a national match sight on it, but after review the moderator team concluded that it did not give him any such advantage that a disqualification would come in question. Thus, his results of 13 hits in 81.1 seconds stand and yield in a score of 79.5. Well done, and Maple Leaf up.
Yeah, well, yeah. This won't be the highest score I've ever done, but I'm not doing it again. Here we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I counting that right? There's 2 holes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
And for the 2nd consecutive year, the winner of the division is Erin the Viking. I'll make you watch the wall run because boy was it fast. Scoring 11 hits in 49 seconds with his VZ58, he totals 112.24 points. That is the overall fastest submission this year and all-time fastest in Division 1. Congratulations, Erin. As a division leader, I'd like to thank you all for your submissions and putting up a great challenge once again. And I hope to see you again on next year. Keep on training.
So Eunice, who headed up Division 1 that you just saw, is our first moderator to be outside of North America. It was really great having Eunice involved, and it seemed like he was able to light a fire under some people over there in Finland and get them out as well. And I do feel a little bit bad participating in the winter months here in Oregon. Not quite with the winter months that they're dealing with over there. So it really shows what kind of dedication these guys have when they're getting out there in pretty deep snow. So with that being out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into Division 2.
Hello everybody, this is Mario 3Bardy Videos, and this is the 2021 Modern Division entries for the Cabin Fever Challenge.
Target moved.
Alright, and that brings us to 5th place. Apologies if I pronounce this wrong, but we have a fellow by the name of Pomodoro, who is armed with a 16-inch Daniel Defense M4 version 7, filled with all sorts of Gucci parts, and equipped with an EOTech sight. He managed to get 13 hits in a time of 58.07 seconds, giving him a score of 111.93. So good shooting. In 4th place, we have 3MTA3, who this year was armed with a WS MCR chambered in 223. He got 13 hits on target in a blazing fast time of 50 seconds even. But he did also take the time to relay an important message to the world about our Prime Minister here in Canada.
Well, I'll be damned. It's the gentleman Guppy. You know, he's like a turd that won't flush.
This ultimately gave him a score of 130 even. In 3rd place, we have OreGear, who is one of this year's hosts for the Cabin Fever Challenge. He was armed with a 16-inch Midwest Industries AR-15, customized rather tastefully, and he got 14 hits on target in a time of 53 seconds, giving him a score of 132.08. And in 2nd place, we have what appears to be a homeless time traveler dressed as a pirate. He is using a gun that is mostly made from formulated dead dinosaur juice, but yet somehow he managed to get 17 hits on target in a time of 57.77 seconds, giving him a score of 147.14. And finally, in 1st place, we have Giva. Apologies, not exactly sure how to pronounce that name. But anyways, he was armed with a Tavor X95, presumably chambered in 9mm. And through an excellent display of marksmanship, he managed to land 19 hits on target in a time of 54.15 seconds, which gave him a new record score of 175.44. So that is a new record, all-time high record for the Cabin Fever Challenge at this date. So a huge congrats to that. Excellent shooting, and we definitely look forward to seeing your entry next year to see if you can top that.
This is outside. This is, zoom in, look closer. This is cutting the line. So that's a 1.
A big thank you to Murray for heading up Division 2. He always does a really good job with his videos. His cinematography is always on point. So being able to have him involved in this has been a pleasure once again. And thanks to him for heading up Division 2. Now let's see what happened in Division 3.
Hello everybody, welcome to the awards video for Division 3 of the Cabin Fever Challenge Manual Repeating Rifles. We had a total of 24 entrants this year in 2021, and we got to observe a whole bunch of different shooters demonstrating marksmanship with several different kind of rifle platforms. We've also seen a strong showing from Sweden, Finland, Canada, and the United States of America. Starting in 5th place is Sean Elliott from Canada, shooting a #1 Mark III SMLE and running stripper clips. Sean managed to achieve 11 strikes on the target in 131 seconds for a total score of 41.98. In 4th place is Tudenam, also from Canada, running a K98 in the Scout style or fashion, configured similarly that you would see a ZF-41 style rifle with the Scout scope, and was running stripper clips. An 8x57 Mauser, Tudenam did very well with 12 hits on target in 142 seconds, which is quite reasonable for a K98 rifle, for a total score of 42.25. In 3rd place is the Finnish rifleman from Finland, running an M28/30 Pisterkorva Mosin-Nagant. It was a very impressive display of musketry, and it reminded me of the 1939-1940 Winter War between Finland and the Soviet Union, a David versus Goliath situation. And what it really taught me was, don't mess with Finland, okay? I think the Soviets learned that lesson very difficultly. In 2nd place is Dan Pospolita from Canada, running a Swedish M38 Mauser. Dan achieved 11 hits in 90 seconds for a total score of 61.11. Dan did exceedingly well, with smooth transitions between positions. His reloads were flawless, and he managed to keep his time under the 100-second threshold, which is a critical consideration if you're going to be shooting Division 3 manual repeating rifles. If you can manage to keep your time under 100 seconds, you're probably going to be ranking fairly well, fairly high. And in 1st place, also from Canada, is Rifle Chair, running a Ruger American Ranch in 7.62x39 with a total of 12 hits in 97.2 seconds for a total score of 61.73. Now that's only 0.62 points more than Dan. Really, I just squeaked a victory on the hair on my chinny chin chin. Essentially, we both shot the same. I got one more hit on target, but he did it in a quicker time. You know, honestly, we could almost consider it a tie. Special mentions for Division 3 go to Nesna Nat, running an Arisaka Type 38 rifle. And upon the shooter saying, the range safety officer indicating shooter ready, Nesna fixed bayonet. And it's a huge bayonet. You should see the video. A huge sword-like bayonet, similar in its, I should say, probably size to a 1907 pattern sword bayonet. And he shot the entire course of fire with the bayonet attached. Additionally, special mentions go to British muzzleloaders, who not only traveled to the Sudan to shoot this course of fire. He scored 12 hits in 165 seconds for a total score of 36.36, but he managed to do it in a quick time of 165 seconds, single loading the rifle, only using the contents of his magazine when he was in the prone position. And for him to place in the top 10 of shooters for this year, having reloaded his rifle in the configuration that he did, it is very impressive. So thank you to all of the shooters from Sweden, Finland, the United States, and Canada. I'd like to see all of you again next year. It was a blast to watch you shoot. I would also like to recognize the marksmen from the last 7 years, from 2014 to 2021. Here are the division all-time high scores for the last 7 years. It was a blast to watch you shoot. I'd like to thank OreGear, Tudenham, Junis, 3D Murray, and Rick Nethery for agreeing to be division leaders for this year's match.
I was really glad to have Rifle Chair involved as a moderator this year. He did want to take a break as the overall match officiator, moderator, however you want to put it. But I was really encouraging of him to get him involved as a moderator, and I'm very glad he did. He, again, is the backbone of this entire competition and played a big role behind the scenes in helping get things done again this year. So a big thanks again to Rifle Chair, and I'm sure I'll say that at least one more time before this video is over. So let's go ahead and jump into Division 4.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Rick Nethery, bringing you Division 4 of the 2021 Cabin Fever Challenge. This year we didn't get a lot of entries, which is normal due to this ammo shortage and coronavirus, and dadgum, I get every time if I set up a camera I get traffic. You just got to deal with it. But I did have 2 participants that both did outstanding in my division, number 4. This first place this year I had Aaron the Viking, and he was firing one of those handy rifle, H&R handy rifle 300 blackout. It was suppressed and he had some kind of prism optic on it. That thing was really cool. And then I had Justin from CNR Arsenal. He was shooting some kind of Martini Henry cadet rifle. He did outstanding. He was shooting his own hand loads, but I'm gonna roll in some of their footage and talk to them, just kind of a voiceover, and I hope you enjoy it. My first shooter, Aaron the Viking, with his H&R handy rifle and 300 blackout, man did an excellent job. He actually beat my time, and I used the bolt action repeating rifle, but he scored 14 hits and a time of 175 seconds for a total score of 40 points. He did excellent. My second place shooter, Justin from CNR Collector, excellent YouTube channel, by the way. I would check him out. Shooting his Greener 310 Cadet using his hand loads and reformed brass. He made a total of 9 hits in 132 seconds for a grand score, or a total score of 34.09. Both of these gentlemen did an excellent job shooting this challenge, and I hope we get to see them again in the future. Hey, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully next year everything will get somewhat normal, and we can have a little more participation, more people enter. But I think the guys that entered this year did really well, except for me. I never do. But I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and God bless each and every one of you.
So a big thanks to Rick for heading up Division 4. He's been someone who's been participating in this challenge for a long time, so it's cool seeing him step into a moderator role. And with that being out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into Division 5.
Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, summer matina,
Oh, ding dang dong, ding dang dong. Oh. Hi, welcome to the 2021 Cabin Fever Challenge, Muzzleloader Division. This competition has been described as a celebration of the skills of our ancestors. The black powder muzzleloader was probably the first type of firearm used to develop marksmanship. The muskets and rifles of the 1600s and 1700s were the first firearms that a frontiersman could depend upon to hunt for food and to defend himself from predators. In a lot of ways, the firearms of this category were absolutely essential pieces of equipment that allowed the first European settlers to open up North America. Huzzah! This year we saw two competitors. Murray from 3 Bar D submitted an entry with his Petersoli made Brown Bess musket, a 75 caliber smoothbore that was used by the British Army for over 100 years. Not only does Murray load his musket with period correct paper cartridges, he also does it in period correct clothing. Huzzah! Murray achieved 2 hits in 184 seconds for a score of 5.43. Not a small feat with a smoothbore musket. It's a fantastic video and I hope you watch it. Here's my favorite part. Coming in first place is Tudenam and his CVA Hawken rifle in 50 caliber. Tudenam took a couple of shortcuts by preloading powder into 303 British cases and setting up a speed reloading station. Tudenam achieved 3 hits in 162 seconds for a score of 9.3. I'd like to give a special thanks to 3D Murray for making such a beautiful video as always and taking the time to go out and have some fun with the muzzleloaders. I'd also like to thank OreGear for organizing the shoot this year. It's a big job to take on and he's done it well. I'd also like to thank the rest of the moderators who have gone through, done all the scoring and done all the work to make sure that this shoot goes well like it does every year. So thank you very much folks. Have a good one and I'll see ya out on the range.
And here I'll say thanks once again to Tudenam for heading up Division 5. The muzzleloader divisions are always a big challenge, so seeing some people participate in that was pretty great, and the costuming that goes along with a lot of those was good. I know Murray was able to get into costume for quite a few of his divisions this year, and looked like he had a lot of fun. And so again, thanks to Tudenam for doing that. See if I can get into muzzleloading next year. That looks like a fun division to be a part of. And at least with both Division 4 and 5, if you get a submission just by fact of few submissions, you're probably going to be in the top 3. So definitely worth participating in years to come, I would say. So with those wrap-up videos now done, I want to say a big thank you once again to all of the people who participated this year. I know we had a lot of things working against us, so the fact that these people were willing to get out there, use their time, use their resources to get this challenge done really says a lot. Again, I want to say thank you to Rifle Chair for creating this challenge in the first place and inspiring groups of us to get out there and practice our skills of musketry and marksmanship. It's a really neat thing that we have here, and I really like seeing the year-to-year progression. And again, having a huge international audience this year was especially great to see, and I can only hope that it's going to continue to increase from this point on. Now, I'm sure a lot of you at this point are already excited for Cabin Fever 2022. If you want to stay on top of announcements as they come, I would definitely recommend heading over to the Facebook page for Cabin Fever Challenge. I'll have that in a link down below. We do our best throughout the year to kind of keep people reminded of the coming challenge, and as the announcements come leading into the competition, we make all of that stuff posted over there. So once again, a big thank you to everyone who participated, and an even bigger thank you to the moderators who made my job fairly easy this year, really only having to make an intro video, an outro video, and then putting out the little fires that existed. But honestly, we did a good job as a team, I think. So again, big thanks to the moderators for that. So with that being out of the way, here is looking forward to Cabin Fever 2022.